I'm super excited to see some of the clips that we have prepared today. It's going to be really, really interesting to see some of the cell scenes in pop culture today. A lot of them are super, super iconic, so let's get into it. I'm Alec. At the age of 18, I was the youngest realtor in the state of Texas, and here I am 5 years later being the guide for you that I wish I had. And let's go ahead and start with the first.
Is it better to be feared or respected? And I say, is it too much to ask for both?
Ooh, Iron
With that in
Man.
mind, I humbly present the crown jewel of Stark
I love
Industries'
this.
Freedom Line. It's the first missile system.
This is one of my
operated on
favorite
proprietary
scenes
propulsion
in
technology.
all of Avengers, I think.
They say the best weapon is one you never have to fire. I respectfully disagree. I prefer the weapon you only have to fire once. That's how Dad did it.
So this was
That's how America
definitely a
does it.
sales pitch. I remember
worked
this
out pretty
one
well so
very
Find an
clearly.
excuse to let one of these off the chain, and I personally guarantee you the bad guys won't even want to come out of their cave.
So definitely started with a huge claim. This is something I preach heavily. Always start with a big claim, something that almost people think isn't even true. And then he backs it up.
For your consideration, the Jericho.
That's so cool. I'm a huge Avengers nerd, so just because it's Iron Man, it's cool. And then he backs it up and says, you get a
Throwing
badass
one of these in with every purchase of 500 million or more.
cooler slash bar with every purchase of 500 million. That's awesome. No, I really love this scene. This is one of my favorite scenes in the MCU. Iron Man, I mean, you just can't go wrong with loving Iron Man. He's super straightforward, very confident, as you can clearly see, something we can always take notes from, just to be confident and back it up with your actions and do what you said you were gonna do. So now, let's move on to the second. Yeah, so this is my favorite movie of all time. I think for a long time I told all of the agents on my team that like it was a prerequisite to watch this movie before even getting started in real estate.
Hello, John. How you doing today? You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside
Yeah,
potential
doesn't ask
with
if he has a
very
minute,
little
just gets right
downside.
into the call.
Does that ring a bell? Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is
And start with an
something
awesome claim.
just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the
Yeah,
idea.
ask only for 60 seconds, gets
Name of
right
the
into it.
company,
Who's gonna say no to a minute of your time?
International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest, awaiting.
I love
imminent
how he
patent
brings his
approval
voice
on a
down just to
next
bring you
generation
in
of
almost for
radar
a secret.
detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now,
This is when he
John,
starts hyping
the
it up.
stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that.
Oh, I love this. Everybody knows. Game recognizes the game. Everybody's watching him, seeing what he's doing.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man. Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
This stock will pay off my house.
John, one thing I can promise you,
Client
even in this
recognizes
market,
this is a great
is that
idea.
I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners.
First
I
objection
ask them
handler.
to judge me on my losers. because
Don't
I
judge
have
me
so
on my
few.
losers. Judge
And
me
in
on
the
my
case of
winners.
Airtime, based on every technical factor out there,
Yes.
John, we are looking at a grand slam home run.
Grand slam home run.
I'll do 4 grand.
4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares.
40,000
John.
shares.
Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John? Great.
And that's
Hey,
the
John,
close, baby.
thank you
That's
for your
exactly
vote of
how we close.
confidence.
So just a quick recap. He comes in, he brings his voice down low. He has something that's great and he wants to share it with the client. Brings his voice down low as if almost to share a secret. Really starts hyping it up. This is a cold call. I mean, this is somebody that he doesn't even know. And as soon as he starts to get agreements, he goes in for the close. This whole call was less than 2 minutes, something that we could all definitely learn from. So we're about halfway through. If you love seeing sales systems and want to see more things like this, watch me react to more of these iconic scenes. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you never ever miss a video, and please subscribe down below. Now let's get back into it. If I remember right, this is gonna be an example of what not to do.
Is that the new 993 Turbo?
Actually, that's the 993 Carrera.
I don't know about you, but I already don't like this salesman.
That's 6 cylinders, 475 horsepower.
Super pretentious, not agreeable whatsoever. That's the first thing we go over. Always be agreeable. Telling him not to touch it.
Johnson
I
got
think the second rule after always being agreeable is treat every buyer like a buyer. You don't know people. These people are strangers. Oh, I love this guy. This is one of my favorites. The Lamborghini Diablo. Totally not what we're talking about.
It is not a toy.
You just shut the music off on him.
Hey, Miss Johnson, shake your ass, baby, shake it. Hey, look here, dog. You think I can hit some corners in this? You know, take it on a
He wants to go on a test drive, yeah. Of course. He's not going to buy it unless he drives it.
about hooking a brother up or something.
Hooking a brother up. The cheapest car we have here is $75,000.
Oh, that was the worst thing you could have done.
Got a lot of headroom, get it?
Yo.
Headroom.
This is it.
Oh, yeah. See? My man got taste.
Yes, well, it's not something.
Okay.
Yo, dog.
Buyer
this shit's
sits in the
hot,
car.
man.
He knows he wants it. He's already
How
said
much
he
is
wants
for,
it.
man? What, 200?
Actually,
Why are you not
285.
writing up the paperwork?
Suck and fuck me for 285, man.
Actually, there are only 7 of these for sale in the U.S.
That many.
He wants to start it up, like let him start the radio, maybe let him test drive it, right?
That's the truck.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah, start it up, dog.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, he wants to start it up. This is completely natural.
Policy. Sorry.
This is a salesman that we all need to be like. Just super cool. Hasn't said anything at all. Threw him the keys. And this is the part where you see the initial salesman's intention. See, this guy really shows his true colors. He doesn't want to make the sell. He thinks everybody's not as good as him.
I suggest you get started on the paperwork.
See, exactly. That's what I just said. Get started on the paperwork.
Oh my God.
Bag full of money. Treat everybody like a buyer. You have no idea.
Keep the change.
I think another huge point here is just like, it's very super easy to talk yourself out of a deal. If you'll notice, the guy who shut up the most, didn't say anything, is the guy who made the sell. I think this one speaks for itself. This was a clear example of what not to do. So now we're gonna get into the next one.
Hello.
Mr. Fairweather.
Speaking.
My name is Nick Halden, and I want to be your broker.
I've already got a broker.
Really?
Cold
How's he
call,
doing for you?
cold call
Make
once
any money
again.
last year?
Nobody made any money last year.
That's not true. If you're with me, you'd have netted 3%. That's after the
Huge
crash.
claim,
I
netted
don't believe
3%.
If you got an email address, I'll send you my earnings report right now. Biotech and alcohol were up.
How did you get my number?
Your old broker. He's not smart enough to keep you to himself. What do you do for a living, Charlie?
I'm a history teacher, but I'm not interested.
Word
The only
track.
history that's worth a damn is the history we make today. You know who said that?
I believe Henry Ford said that.
Oh,
Yes, he did. And he was
this
right.
guy's good.
Have you heard of Reimer Pharmaceutical?
No.
Of course you haven't, because your job is to teach, and my job is to know about companies like Reimer before everyone else. You know when you don't buy a stock? When your cab driver tells you about it. Now, if you'd known about IBM before the invention of the microchip,
Would you have bought in?
Of course.
well, Reimer is poised for a breakout on the same scale. Monday,
This
the
one just
FDA will
leaves me
approve them to begin
speechless.
clinical trials on a
He doesn't
quantum-confined
give you an opportunity to
nanotechnology
say,
that
no,
has the
you
potential
want
to
to have what
transform
this guy is
cancer
selling.
medicines. And I can get you in on the ground floor.
That sounds like insider trading.
Not at all. No, it's completely legit. Look, I pour over 1,000 pages of scientific, technical BS.
So I can make you rich at $3 a share.
Let's start small, okay?
So starts with the
1,000
word track,
shares.
goes into the
I double
close.
that for you next week, and then we get serious.
Sounds
Pitches him an
nice.
offer.
But I'd have to ask my wife.
The wife close.
rookie. Mr. Fairweather, if you invest with me, the only question you'll have to ask your wife is what kind of hardwood floors does she want in her new house?
And a perfect rebuttal.
Life comes down to a few moments, Mr. Fairweather. This is one of them.
This is one of them. Nice.
He's good. I'm in. But let's make it 5,000 shares.
Thank you.
Nice. Got
I'll
the
transfer
close,
you
got
over to one of our
5,000
girls,
shares.
and she'll take your information. So, how'd my interview go?
Nice. Awesome. I think the best thing to keep in mind after watching all of these is nobody in any of these videos attempted to sell to somebody who didn't want it. I think, you know, even in this last example, he closed somebody who was maybe looking at the market, who's definitely invested some and is familiar with how the market goes. And so, I mean, just like he said, his broker wasn't smart enough to keep him away. So whether it's the wolf, whether you're closing like Iron Man, make sure you're closing people who need to be closed. But I think these were a lot of great examples in pop culture and something that we can all definitely learn from. If you haven't seen any of these clips, we'll link them down below for you to check them out. Check out some of these amazing movies. They're some of my personal favorite, and we'll see you on the next React video.